Welcome to another episode of It Heartfelt with Gloria. My name is Gloria Ndoro-Mkombachoto, and I would like to welcome you to this episode. We are continuing with our entrepreneurial series where we are investigating and trying to come up with solutions why Black entrepreneurial folk lag behind in growing their businesses to become intergenerational businesses. I need to underscore the fact that sometimes even the founders, when they die, they leave in place viable businesses. But for some reason, either those businesses die or they move hands, and the family in which those businesses were started end up with nothing. There is no intergenerational business that moves or is taken over and grown from one generation to the other. So if you're with us and you're still watching, thank you for watching. We appreciate it very much. If you have not yet subscribed, please subscribe to the channel on YouTube at Heartfelt with Gloria. And don't only subscribe. Of course, you have to watch, share the videos, comment. Your comments and your feedback is valuable to us because it allows us to bring better content to you in the future. Now, when we started the entrepreneurial series on why are Black people, entrepreneurs, lagging behind other communities? This is in comparison to other entrepreneurial communities in the world. And we started unpacking these reasons why. And when I did the initial research, I came up with 18 reasons. And those reasons include generic and non-generic reasons. And right now, we are talking about the non-generic reasons. So in episode 6 and 7, we started talking about the reasons. And we started off with discussing social capital, the fact that it's minimized within the Black entrepreneurial communities. They do not know what it is, or if they know what it is, they do not know how to use it. They do not know how to galvanize it for the benefit of their businesses. And then the second reason we came up with was, I didn't come up with it, these are results from research, was that essentially the Black entrepreneurial class, on a per capita basis, when we compare to other communities, they tend to discourage their children from joining the businesses that they would have started, or they educate their children away from what they started. So you can imagine when the founders die, and people, perhaps children who were never schooled in the nuances of making that business successful, now suddenly find themselves running it. It would be chaotic. So this week we are talking about the third reason. And essentially, this third reason talks to the issue of new Black entrepreneurs succumbing to pressure from society. And society here, we are talking about family and friends or people around who, for starters, when this entrepreneur wanted to start, were not giving support. But once they dig in and they decide that they're going to start their business, they come up with advice, They put pressure on you. I always tell new entrepreneurs that when you start a business and people in your neighborhood or family members get to know that you have started a business and they ask you, where are your offices? They are putting pressure on you. They are putting pressure on you to go and rent when sometimes you are not ready to pay that rental. Remember, most of the time when you are starting a business, that business is small, number one, and number two, you always do not have adequate capital to pay for the fixed costs of the business. And you need to save and put in all the money that you are making into the business. And then they ask you, where are your offices? And when you tell them that you are operating from home, they think that you're a briefcase a business person. For the longest in Zimbabwe, at independence in 1980, people who did not have offices were referred to as briefcase business people, which is very unfortunate. There were also programs where perhaps there were grants coming from the donor community to support emerging small businesses or loans that were being put forward by government to support the SME sector, and an address, a business address, an acceptable business address was a priority. For me, this is a barrier to entry. When startups, greenfield ventures are being forced to rent premises when that business is not yet in a position to pay rental. I think the other thing also is a lot of people have forgotten that a lot of conglomerates we see today, or global businesses that we see today, were actually started from garages. They were started from garages, and they started very, very small. I always say to people, if your parents do not have a garage, find a garage. If your aunt or uncle are enabling and they've got a garage, and your business model is such that you do not necessarily require the trade that comes off passerbys walking in the streets or passerbys driving, who then see your advert or your signage and then decide to come and check on your services. If your business model is not like that, if you can still get clients without having premises, by all means, start small and start from home. Also, a lot of people forget that a global tech giant, Microsoft, which was started by Bill Gates, was started in a garage at home. And today, it's a business that is worth over 500 billion. Similarly, global online retailer Amazon, which was once an online bookstore, and it took the founder, Jeff Bezos, almost a year to sell one book, has since grown to become a $300 business. But again, it was started from a garage. Apple, global technology giant, now a $550 billion company, again, was started from a garage. So there are many out there, local businesses, African businesses, global businesses with an international footprint that started from humble beginnings. So what we have been discovering from our conversations with entrepreneurs, Black, particularly in this particular aspect, is they tend to succumb to the pressures that are coming from society. Are you looking successful, for example? So you'll find that somebody who's just started a business, and we know that a lot of businesses, for them to actually start turning a profit is probably 3 years, 5 years, or even longer. And then you find that the founder is under pressure to exhibit a story to the public where suddenly, because they've started a business, they are successful. They are driving a fancy car, probably they've bought a fancy home, and they are entertaining people in public places, and so forth and so on. When you do that as a founder of a small business, a new startup, what essentially you are doing is you are succumbing to the pressure of society's expectations. As a result, you are now escalating your commitment in the wrong direction, essentially depleting the capital that would have been used to grow your business, to now do all these flowery things and project an image that just because you started a business yesterday, you are successful. So my suggestion going forward is we are now aware that Black entrepreneurial folk are always under pressure from the people around them. And those people, when they were telling them that they wanted to start a business, were the least people to be supportive. Yet, when you then continue to do what you want and you start the business, there is innuendo, and they conduct themselves in a manner that makes you then commit to doing things that are at cross purposes with your objectives of what you want to achieve in the business. So going forward, I'll just like to urge new businesses to have humble beginnings. And like I said earlier, given your business model, if it's a business model that doesn't rely on people coming off the streets to support you, you can start that business even in your bedroom at home. It's important that during the early years of starting a business, you plow everything and you stop worrying about what people are going to say. And we all know that within our Black communities, we tend to worry about what are people going to think, what are people going to say. If those people have got no skin in the game which is your business, you also do not have any business succumbing to the pressure from them. On that note, thank you. Until next time, please don't forget to subscribe on It Heartfelt with Gloria on YouTube. Thank you.